There are few places in the world that can attract millions of people every year, and Miami, Florida is one such place. According to Road Genius, the vibrant city welcomes around 5 million people every year, and the tourists also spend at least $6 billion since the pandemic year. That's a big bank. Miami is also known as the Magic City, and that is for a significant reason. The city is popular for its magnificent views, long palm trees, warm weather, beautiful locations, some of the most beautiful women in the world, and colorful beaches. There are also a gazillion fun things to do in Miami all year round for tourists and residents alike, making it everyone's dreamland. The main thing Miami is popular for is the beaches. The city has some of the most gorgeous beaches in the world. The South Beach, for example, has crisp white sand and blue waters. They are a natural marvel that attracts millions of visitors from across the globe annually. It's a sight you shouldn't miss if you find yourself in the city. Apart from the scenery, you can save up a lot of money if you work in Miami, Florida. Florida is one of the few states in the US that boasts zero income tax. Up to 37% is paid in income tax in many states, but Florida and a few other states like Alaska, Nevada, and South Dakota require no income tax. So you can save up from your income as long as you're a Miami resident. Miami is also known as the hub of entertainment. You can never get bored in Miami. Whether you're a fan of music, nightlife, or sports, there is something for everyone. Most major sports like basketball, handball, soccer, car races, gymnastics, tennis, and baseball have their base in Miami. Fans troop down in their numbers to watch these sports all year round. The nightlife is also top tier. There are lots of fun activities to get lost in. There are clubs, amusement parks, game houses, bowling centers, and music festivals. If you prefer quieter and quality time, there are parks, artsy sites, and buildings to visit that'll inspire you. Everyone is catered for in Miami, another top advantage of living in the city. If you dread winter as much as I do, then Miami is your paradise. The city boasts of endless sunshine all year round. The weather is perfect for outdoor lovers and introverts too. There's an endless opportunity to do everything you want to because the weather's perfect. You can rock your summer outfits all year round, take cool pictures with natural light, and even have fun walks in the parks without the inconvenience of snow. It's also the perfect excuse to spend your time on the stunning beaches unbothered and unafraid. The temperature does rise during summer, but it always stays around 75 to 80 degrees, which is very manageable. The Magic City isn't all that meets the eye. You'll be shocked to discover a plethora of reasons why living in Miami might be a terrible choice. Like many other cities in the world, it has its bad sides. Here are the reasons why Miami is a terrible place to live in. When you walk on the streets of Miami, there's a high chance you'd see a crowd of trekkers. The city is called the Walkable City, and it's not because of close proximity with facilities and structures, but because of the lack of public transportation. Miami is just 143.1 square kilometers, and 7 out of 10 residents have a car or 2 cars. Since it's a small city, driving down to your destination usually takes minutes, or you just walk down there. There is no provision for public trains, subways, or taxis because of this assumption. So, if you're not a fan of long treks, you'd need to have your own car to survive in Miami. Like any other developed city in the world, the Paradise City suffers occasional traffic congestion. During peak hours in the mornings by 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and rush hours in the evening by 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., traffic is always hectic. I mean, almost everyone has a car, so the traffic should be expected. Plus, there are tons of activities, tournaments, and festivals going on in the city, so crowds are always rushing towards one direction or the other. There are at least 10 music festivals or sports games happening every week in Miami, so the large number of cars on the roads are expected. Another thing to contend with in the American paradise is the hurricanes. Miami is likely to experience hurricanes at least once a decade. In fact, the city has a 16% chance of experiencing a hurricane in any given year. That is 4% higher than Tampa, Florida, another hurricane-prone city in Florida. It gets even less reassuring with the fact that the city sits 50 miles away from where the hurricanes pass every 6 to 8 years. This is a factor that you might want to consider if you plan to travel or move to Miami. The city has been constructed to withstand hurricanes, and it hasn't witnessed any deadly hurricanes since the 90s, but still, they happen in small measures. This is very crucial, especially for people just starting out in life. I wouldn't advise that you pack up and move down to Miami. There are tons of job opportunities in the Magic City, but the costs of living matches the opportunities energy for energy. On the average, a resident of Miami pays over $2,100 in rent for a one-bedroom apartment. That's 38% higher than the national average in rent for a one-bedroom apartment. Due to this ridiculously high rent average, you would find a lot of homeless people on the streets of this vibrant city. The cost of living score in Miami is higher by 20 compared to other states in the United States, and by 15 compared to other cities in Florida. Residents of Miami are from a variety of cultures and heritages. The city boasts of some diverse backgrounds which can make communication a bit tricky. The most spoken language is Spanish and then English. Some localities like Hialeah employ mainly Spanish, so things like ordering food and asking for directions can prove difficult. The major ethnicities present in Miami are mostly of Cuban and other Latin American descents. Miami is only 6.562 feet above sea level, with the highest elevation of 25 feet being at Dade County. This makes the city prone to frequent floods due to high tides and sea level rise. The floods spoil cars and damage property, which can cost thousands to repair. There are also unexpected rains that can cause floods. This disadvantage can make commuting through the city hard and even render you stranded if you do not own your own car. Hence, you may want to reconsider moving down to Miami without a game plan for the surprise floods. Besides the beautiful scenery and excellent culture, there's the challenge of high crime rates. Localities like Liberty City and Overtown have a dense population and high crime rates. It's so bad, up to 12% higher than other places in Miami. It's an expected quality for the city considering that it is flocked with celebrities and top citizens all year round. The frequent festivals and other activities attract large crowds, which may also contribute to the increased crime rate. During peak travel seasons, Miami is flooded with tourists. What this means is that you'd be sharing your city with tourists almost all the time. Specific locations like South Beach and Wynwood can become hotspots and inaccessible because of large crowds. This also affects the cost of things as business owners want to tap from the presence of the tourists. So prices of basic things like cereals or fruits will go up, further eating into your salary. This is something you should consider seriously before moving to Miami. Miami is the magic city when you are a tourist and have a lot of money to spend. This explains why there are so many celebrities there, right? If you're looking for a new city of residence, I wouldn't advise Miami. But if you can afford it and can cope with all of its shortcomings, then you're home. Enjoyed this video? Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. What bothers you most about Miami? Please let us know in the comments.